with us now, retired Army Major General William Enyart. Good morning to you. When you think about this position, what responsibilities come to mind?
Well, good morning, Marnie. You know, this is probably, at least in my humble opinion as a retired Major General, the most critical appointment that President Trump could, the incoming president could make. And frankly, if Hegseth is confirmed, he'll be the most spectacularly unqualified person ever nominated and ever confirmed to this position. He has virtually zero experience, virtually zero qualifications or credentials for this job. He's a smart guy. You know, he's a TV personality. He's written a book criticizing generals, and he just has no real experience and no real credentials for this kind of job. As your previous correspondent pointed out, you're managing a budget of nearly $1 trillion, 2 million people. You are the face of the U.S. defense apparatus throughout the world. And I have to wonder if perhaps he's a stalking horse candidate that Trump is putting him out there simply to draw a lot of fire, and then he'll name someone else who might have a tough time getting through, but has more credentials than this guy does. If the Republican majority in the Senate confirms this guy, they will have abandoned any pretense at being a co-equal branch of government and rather simply belong to Trump.
What challenges do you think that he'll face in those Senate confirmation hearings and throughout that process?
Well, clearly the Democrats are going to grill him on his lack of experience, his lack of qualifications. And I would certainly think that many, or at least some Republicans will do the same. You know, when you look at the potential candidates out there, there are certainly dozens, perhaps hundreds of very conservative folks with military experience, with defense experience, with management experience, who are far more qualified than he is. Lindsey Graham, Joni Ernst, Tom Cotton, all have vastly greater experience than he does, and certainly have every credential that one could want. You know, I have to wonder about this. It's pretty clear to me that Donald Trump has never read Team of Rivals, the terrific book by Doris Kearns Goodwin about President Lincoln and how he selected not from his allies, but rather from his rivals in order to build a stronger cabinet to help him get through the Civil War.
Drawing our attention to the live shot on the screen right now, Major General Enyart, this is Trump arriving in Washington, D.C. ahead of his meeting with President Biden this morning. He'll also be meeting with congressional leaders as the Senate looks to name a new GOP leader. We're going to be monitoring this throughout the hour. You know, when you talk about this appointment of Hegseth, Trump clearly is confident in him for a number of reasons that he laid out. But as I'm listening to you, do you believe that this also was a potentially reckless decision and even possibly dangerous? And how do our adversaries view this pick?
Well, that's certainly of great concern to me. You know, folks who get selected to be defense ministers, chiefs of defense worldwide are experienced and seasoned and have the ability to negotiate treacherous shoals. This young man has shown none of that and has been exposed to none of that. Certainly, he's a veteran, and I applaud that. His rank is that of major, and a major is qualified to be promoted to a lieutenant colonel, which would, if he were promoted to lieutenant colonel, he'd command 450 troops, so give or take. So this young man just does not have the seasoning, the experience, or the qualifications to serve in this position. And every chief of defense, every defense minister, from Russia to China to Cuba to Venezuela, pick a nation, is going to look at this and go, he's a pretty boy from TV.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.